Hey guys, welcome back to Manchild Outdoors. Alright, now we're going to be going over how to get your knocking point on the string. Alright, I have my rest mounted, the strings have been changed. Alright, so now I need a D-loop and a knocking point. So we're going to go over that in detail right now. The whole bow was already set up and I wanted to edit the video, and some of the video was just like not really great. So I took it all back off. We're going to do it again. And I'm going to do a reshoot, and I'm going to show you exactly how it's done because I don't want you to miss out. This is an important step. Alright, for this step, we're going to need a multitude of tools. I have a couple of different selections here, different things you can use, but the necessity thing is what we're going to need is we're going to need an arrow. Alright, we're going to need some serving string. Alright, so this is D-loop material, or it's for the QAD, you know, the drop away rest. That's the cable, or the cable activated drop away rest. And here's some pre-measured D-loops that I cut and already burned up, so they got the balls and everything on them. This is the one I actually just took off. I'm going to reuse it, but I could just easily tie on either one of these, and you can get any colors you want. I actually cut them from this cord, and there you go. And so as far as the tools, alright, so this is, it goes on the arrow, give you the arrow level. This one, rubber bands on there, will give you the arrow level. This is a clamp I'm going to use to clamp onto my string to hold my arrow so it doesn't move, so I can get my knocking point set. Now here's a couple other. This is a string, it goes on your string. You see how it clips on there, clips on your string, and it'll tell you if you're leveled or not. So is this one, just clamps down. This is the one I prefer here, and either one of these will work on the arrow. Alright, so I'm going to show you how they're used in just a second. Alright, so to start this off, first thing we need is our arrow. Alright, so we're going to lock the QAD rest up if that's what you're using. Whatever arrow or whatever rest you're using, make sure it's all the way up. Go ahead and knock your arrow. Alright, this is where the clamp comes in. You see where it falls away? Just kind of doesn't want to hold. And that's good, because you never want your knock too tight. Alright, so we're just going to use this little clamp. It's going to hold it on top, kind of where we want it, and it's going to keep it going. You can eyeball this if you want to get it close. I don't bother. I'm just going to go ahead and put my level on the arrow. Alright, so you'll see that right there. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this clamp on the string. I'm going to put it on right here. Alright, I could also use this one here too. This one just clamps on really quick and easy, like this right here. I don't ever use this one. I just don't. It's not that it's not that good. It's just I just prefer this one. It just seems machined, and you know, when it's machined aluminum, it just seems more precision. Alright, so now we got to get the bow level. Alright, so you want to put the bow in the stand and then square everything up, level everything up, plumb everything. I don't know what the right word is, but this string needs to be perfectly level. So we look at this little bubble right here, and I dial it in. There you see where the bubble goes out. You kind of look in there a little bit closer. There you go, see? You just want to get that bubble perfect. All right. Let's see, set this back down right here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to dial that back a little bit more. Make sure my side to side is good. I doubt it'll make any effect, but I'm going to double check it and make sure. Alright, and then I look over here and I get the bubble and the arrow right now. Alright. Sorry, just trying to get this tripod set up right. There we go. Alright, so now I'm looking at that bubble. That's when I have to start moving this clamp. Just move it. Move it. And that looks pretty dang good right there. Alright, so see that bubble right there? Doesn't really want to focus, sorry. That's where we want it. We want it dead nuts, right, just like that. Alright, so now with all that set, we make double check here, that one's level. Double check here, that's level. The clamp is secure in place. So underneath on the bottom here, I'm gonna tie a what do you call it? A knock. Alright? So it's gonna be my lower knocking point, and I'm gonna use the serving string. Alright, so I'm gonna peel me off some serving string. I don't need a ton. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come underneath this arrow, right up against it. I'm gonna do just a regular knot. What are they called? Half hitches or something. A regular over and under. I'm gonna get it like tightened down a little bit, but then I'm gonna make sure it's all the way up against that arrow because that's where I want that arrow to sit. All right, so I pull that tight. So there's our first little knot in our series of knots. So now I'm gonna come around the other side and I'm gonna tie another one. All right, so on this side, tie the same knot. Make sure it's nice and tight up to the next one. And I tug on it really tight. You want them nice and tight. Do one more on this side. See, I'm just alternating back and forth, back and forth. All right, get that one there nice and tight. Back over to the other side. One more on this side. This is going to be the last one on this side. So I'm going to double, maybe even triple knot this one, and then I'll burn it. All right, one. Two. And I'll do more three. Alright, so I'm going to cut it, just a little bit of tag on it so I can burn it in. There we go. Now I double check everything. Push down on the knot. Level there is good. Level there is good. Alright. So now I'm going to remove the arrow. Remove my clamp. My arrow level clamp. Alright. Find my lighter, which will be a miracle because I always lose my lighters. Out of 3 lighters, there's only 1 in there. So the other 2 are wandering around somewhere, or my wife has candles and she always steals my lighters for candles. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is loosen this up, go down, and we'll burn this in. Alright, so you'll see right here, just burn that in. Pull up on it. Alright, so let's burn it. I'm going to go back up. So now that that knock is established, we're now going to put on our D-loop. And we're going to start on the bottom side. Alright. So underneath. See what I'm doing. The sun's in my eye coming through the garage door. Slack. So you push that right up against your other knot. There we go. Alright, so now when you come around with your loop on this side, you're going to come around with it on the opposite side. So you can even out the torque on your string. And you see I come through on this side and I'm going to go through over on that side. So over, under. Alright, bang. Done. And I just double check all my knots because I do have a tendency of screwing these up. Alright. Alright, so everything looks good. So now you take your arrow and you test fit. All right, everything looks good. Got just ever so slightly wiggle in there. Not much, but just a little. Now we're gonna make sure that stays when it's back as we're tightening it down. So you can see right now if I click all this in, looks good to go. All right, so let's get the D-loop pliers and tighten it down. Once again, there's a variety of tools to use. These are my preferred D-loop pliers from Easton. See the little Easton logo there. And these are Viper Archery, and they're a pretty cool D-loop plier too, but I find that sometimes I just don't like them. So I go with the Easton. Tighten the D-loop down, you just get the arrow out of the way. Now this right here just goes right inside. It's a good little spacing. It fits perfectly where your knock would fit. It's not on anything it doesn't need to be on. And you just give it a snug down. Just a baby snug. Because now I'm going to be putting that knock back in there. Because it will choke up, it will move. So yeah, and it did move a little bit. So what I'm going to do is just tweak on it ever so slightly. And get that little bit of wiggle room back in there again. I'm actually going to grab a spare knock. So instead of messing with the whole arrow, I got a spare knock here. Just use the knock. Do a little bit of ups and downs. Now put the pliers back on it. I can guarantee you that ain't coming loose already unless I want it to. Yeah, perfect. All right, so there you go. That's how you do it. That should be perfect. And we just double check everything. Triple check, quadruple check. Can't ever check enough. So stick the arrow back on there. All right, and then we put the, there we go. Put the QAD back up. Take the level, make the level straight again. If you wonder what I'm doing, I got dials down here that let me adjust the bow perfectly. Micro tune everything. All right, once I get all that good again, I'm gonna stick this back on the arrow shaft, and if all was done correctly, that'll be sitting perfect. There we go. And it's freaking great. It's off like a micro bit from what it was a minute ago, but it's so damn close. I'm not worried about that at all. If that's an issue, it'll show up in tuning, and I'll put a couple micro clicks in there. All right, so there you go. That right there is how to get your D-loop and your knocking point set up. Now, with the rest set, it should be dead on. If it's not, it'll just be a couple micro clicks. I mean, because you can put this on and it just migrate on you a little bit, or you're just off just ever so slightly. But if you do it like that, it's going to be pretty dang close. All right, so please help out the channel. Please subscribe. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please like it. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can get a hold of me, straight to the YouTube channel, and I like to reply to everybody if I can. And if I don't, I probably just missed it. Hit me up again, because I definitely put all the effort into messaging back everybody that messages me, even if they have something to say that's not so nice. But all right, happy hunting.